Welcome to Inside Nguyen. I'm Nguyen. Thank you for your watching. In order to the young scholar and the role of young scholar in creative startup ecosystem, we have a dialogue with Mr. Duan, lecturer of Thái University of Economics and Business Administration. Thank you for your watching. Before discussing about the startup ecosystem, the main content of our program today, would you like to introduce about yourself and the reason why you come back to Vietnam to work?
Thank you very much for your invitation on this very meaningful talk show. My name is Duan Kongwe. At the moment, I'm a lecturer of Thái University of Economics and Business Administration. I study my bachelor program in economics at Thái University. After that, in 2009, I went to South Korea to study my master in international trade at Sogang University. And after finish my master program, I have returned to Vietnam. And in 2012, I joined a short course training in University of Queensland. And in 2014, I went to Germany to study my PhD program in economic policy at Friedrich-Schiller University of Jena. Currently, my research and teachings focus on international trade, international economic globalization, economic policy, and sustainable development. And I'm very happy to be here to share with you my very little experience about entrepreneurship.
So after joining the Global Young Scholar Forum, you can share your changes on developing yourself.
When I joined the forum, I realized that our scholar is very intelligent. After attending the forum, I realized that our young scholar is very intelligent and very full of enthusiasm to contribute to the Vietnamese development. I believe that the forum is a bridge to collect the people from different countries who have the same vision, the same mission to build a very strong connection to and help the Vietnam can develop now and the long term in the future. For me, the forums bring me a lot of the connection. So I can try to collect them and try to develop some joint project and program that will be very useful for the development of Vietnam.
Back to the main content today. So would you like to share the idea about the startup ecosystem?
At first, I want to emphasize that startup ecosystem is very important for promoting startup activities. Think about this. We have very good business idea or very great products, but to make it become a commercial or introduce with the customer and do the business successfully is not easy. So they need somebody to help them to call for investment, somebody to give them some experience, and somebody to help them to introduce the product to the market, even some marketer. So that's the way and the plate startup ecosystem work. In the startup ecosystem, we will provide them all necessary they need entrepreneurship to help them to make their invention become very popular in the market. So again, I want to emphasize that startup ecosystem is very important. However, with the Taiwan and Vietnam at the moment, our startup ecosystem is just a beginning. So we need to do a lot of things to make that work efficiently.
Oh, I think the same. You so Taiwan have the beginning for ecosystem of startup. So could you give your mind about the opportunities and challenges for startup ecosystem?
I believe that in Taiwan at the moment, the entrepreneur they have a lot of opportunity to do business very well because quite frankly, we do not have a lot of the startup in Taiwan.
Yes.
We're talking here about the creative startup. It's not a normal startup,
Yeah.
right? It's also the change and also a challenge because our startup ecosystem is not work as we expect. So that they need to try something by themselves. For example, like they need to do something very independently, and that also the challenge to make the business become successful. But I believe that if they are very active and they really want to do business, they will find a way to solve the problem.
So in the expert's opinions, we are lack the human resources for creative startup ecosystem. So how do you think about?
At first, I want to say that the high quality human resources is problem not only for the startup company, but also for another company. Because, however, with the startup company, it's become even harder. Why? Because we know that startup companies, they are just a very new company. So the future is unstable. We do not know that is next year or next 5 years or next 10 years it will work very well or not. So that's why it's very hard for them if they want to recruit very high quality resources. However, I believe that if they have a very good business plan and very good products, and if our government and our startup ecosystem can help them, so they can easier to have a very high human resources.
And if you can give the advice for a young scholar, what will you say?
I think the most important point for a young person, and especially a young scholar, that we need have a right motivation. For example, with my case, I always believe that I'm a lucky person because I was born in Vietnam, and I will always think that's my mission, that I need to do something to help our country become better, become more developing. So with a young scholar, I think that compared with another person, they have some advantage. Maybe they have a more chance to study in knowledge, gain knowledge in some developed countries. So I think they should come back to Vietnam to help our country. Of course, there are a lot of trade-off, a lot of challenge if they return our country. But I believe that at first I want to emphasize that creative startup is not easy. You have been faced with a lot of challenge, a lot of difficult, even some fails in your busy life. However, as we see on the world, a lot of the people become millionaires because of the creative startup. So it is also a chance and a challenge. And the second, you need to talk to myself that this is a very dangerous job, right?
Yes.
That a very challenging job. So maybe we can fail as the first time. However, if we can start up and continue, you can become stronger. And I think sooner or later, the success will come. Another thing is very important for business in general, especially for a startup, is a cooperation. Because you know that one person we can have an advantage in only something. We cannot have an advantage in everything. We cannot be good at in every job or in every knowledge. So try to find a partner, very good partner. It will help you a lot.
I think what you shared today is the motivation for startup on develop their career. So thank you for your attention today. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye. See you next time.